What we're going to do is we're going to dive in. He's got a lot of hair. It's very thick, but it's actually soft. It's got a lot of texture. You can see it's curly. So we're going to take the sides in tight, the back in tight. I'm not 100% sure just yet how we're going to approach the top, whether we're going to do a square shape through the top. The hair pushes this way, and it grows that way naturally. And so one of the things that I'm considering is possibly doing something asymmetric. The theory is shorter hair pushes longer hair. And so if we cut it slightly asymmetric, it's going to help the hair go that way even easier. So that way we have an asymmetric shape over the top, but short and clean through the sides and back. Not sure if we're going to do a kind of a harder part on the sides, but we'll kind of, as we start to take the hair down, that's how we're going to start to decide what we want to do. One of the things that I like to do really quickly, usually I'll do this when I'm asking a client how do they want their hair cut, and while they're explaining to me, I'll just take my comb and kind of run the comb up the head like so, and I'm looking for scars that the client may have. Sometimes they'll tell you, I've got a big scar in the back, I don't really care if the scar shows, I like my hair short. But sometimes, they haven't had their hair cut short in a really long time, and you might stumble upon a really big scar. At that point, you can chat with the client to see, hey, I've noticed you have a scar back here. Would that be a problem if that is exposed through the haircut? Some people might say, yeah, I don't want to see that scar, so then you'll know to leave the hair a little bit longer. Some people will say, no, I don't care. But at least you gave them the opportunity to ask before you dove in and took the hair really short, exposed the scar, and then they turn around and see it through a mirror in the back, and they're like, oh my gosh, I totally didn't want to see that scar. So one of the things I'll do, like I said, is just kind of check to see if I see any major scars where I know I'm going to go short. Since we're leaving hair longer on the top, I'm not really worried if there's scars on his scalp up here because you're not going to see that. But since we're going to go shorter here, I just wanted to make sure that we don't have any scars. So on that note, let's get the hair wet and dive right into this. All right, so what we did here is we got the hair wet, of course. I chose to part it as natural part for now. The reason why I've got two clips here is because his hair is very curly, and so I want to keep that hair separated. If I just push it away with the comb, kind of combed it this way, that way, throughout the haircut, his hair is going to kind of shrink back into the curly texture that it is, kind of eliminating this nice clean part. This is his natural part right there. And so the clips right now are just simply to hold the hair away from kind of coming back together and closing back that part back up. The way I'm going to execute this is I'm going to start by taking the sides down first, then the back. I tend to like to work from the right side to the middle back, and then the left side to the middle back. And then once we've got that done, we'll figure out how we want to address the top. So on that note, let's dive into this. Okay, so, all right, so as a recap, we're done. So as a recap, let's talk about what we did. I'm going to turn James to face the camera. The first thing that we did is we sectioned off the top because I wasn't sure if we were going to go square. I wasn't sure if I was even going to cut a part line into the head or if I was going to go asymmetric. So I knew I wanted to leave that for the end and kind of let the rest of the haircut inspire me to finish the top. The way that the sides and the back developed is what inspired and influenced me on how I wanted to finish the top. Sometimes it's the other way around. Sometimes I do the top first because I'm not sure how tight I want to take the sides and back. And so I'll start at the top and work my way down. But in this case, I knew I wanted the sides tighter and leave the top a little bit long so we could have some stuff to play with, some texture up here to play with. So after sectioning the top off, we went through, cut the sides with our fingers first just to remove all the weight and create a longer version of this shape. And then I wanted to take it down, take it down, take it down. As you could see throughout the video, we took it down numerous times until I found what I felt was visually the best length of what I'm thinking is cool today. You know, 2 years from now, I might not want to cut hair as tight. I might want it longer. You know, fashion changes, and of course your mood for fashion will change as that happens. So in this particular case, we then went through and did the back. And as you can see, I'm not a huge fan, as I talked about, on hard lines. So it's more of a blended line. And of course we did this side as well. And then after we finished cutting the sides and the back at the proper length of where we wanted, that's when we went to the top part, and I felt like I wanted to keep the length that he had over here. I liked, after I started playing with the hair, I liked how it was. It's very soft, even though he has a lot and even though it's curly, it's very soft. And I knew we would be able to do some texturizing up here, give it some texture. I thought it'd be cool. But in order to do that, you actually have to have some length to be able to texturize. If we took it too short, we wouldn't be able to. And I liked how the hair kind of flowed to one side. Gives it a little bit of character versus being completely square, which is why I decided to do a little bit of an asymmetric shape on top. As you can see, it's not super asymmetric. It's subtle, but it's still really cool. Gives it a nice little bit of different feel, a little bit of its own independent character, and yeah, and that's it. Oh, and then kind of finished it off by doing some texturizing just because James has so much hair on the top. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. All right, thanks guys.